Prince Frederik is known in Denmark as the Turbo Prince for his fast life and flashy girlfriends.
Everybody's been wondering who it was going to be, because he's been around.
Lottie Freddie is a columnist in Copenhagen.
He's extremely popular. He's like a rock star in Denmark. I think it's the first time ever there's been a royal person that has captured the hearts of all the young girls. You know, they think he's so great.
How was your prince doing today, Mary?
Thank you. Not as well as other times.
Frederik has chosen a bride whose discretion has endeared her to the royal family. A kiss in January this year, the first public confirmation they were a couple after 2 years of courting.
The thing is, people don't know what she's like, really, except that she looks nice and she behaves well, and she's quite lovely. And obviously she must be nice since the Crown Prince picks her.
Many people ask, how did you steal the heart of the most eligible bachelor in the world? That's a question for... How did you do it?
I think it's... I would say that my first visit to Australia was 2 days old, and that's where we sort of...
First met,
and... I think it's one of those where we just slowly, a relationship where we just slowly got closer and closer to each other despite the geographical distance. And that was just some good sort of vibe or
good connection
and fun and happiness and slowly but surely love as well came into it.
So has the girl from Tasmania tamed the Turbo Prince?
In a certain way, yes.
Right. Now, I know he's a prince and all, but how did he steal your heart?
As pretty much the same as he said. We first met, and from the very first moment that we started talking, we never really stopped talking. And that was also part of our geographical distance. Everything was through words, and so we really established a really strong relationship to begin with.
Nowhere is their romance more fitting than Denmark, the land of fairy tales, thanks to Hans Christian Andersen, and the oldest monarchy in the world. To enter it easily, Mary must impress this fiercely loyal nation that she wants to be Danish.
She obviously has to speak Danish, and the poor thing, it's a terrible language to learn. And so people, all of them are going to sit there and listen to how she's going to sound.
Jeg har læst, at jeg taler flydende dansk. Tak fordi, men desværre passer det ikke helt.
Mary, I felt for you today when you were sitting in that press conference. How nervous were you, knowing that the nation was watching you to see how well you spoke Danish?
That was definitely a big nerve factor, yes. But the people around me said, today obviously I spoke perhaps the worst Danish I speak. It's hard to understand what people are saying when there's so much going on. But I felt that what was important today was for me to, first of all, express a bit about the person who I am, and my Danish is not strong enough to do that. So my strategy was to answer what I could and then be more myself in English, rather than clumsily finding my way in Danish.
The morning after her big day, and Mary has certainly been given the thumbs up by this country's media. On the front page of some of the newspapers, saved by Mary. And this one, thank you, my darling, but also, Mary, you're born to it. And then the most important test of all, her Danish skills. Well, this newspaper has given her 10 out of 10. In this country, Mary can do no wrong.
And when he and Mary marry, where will they live?
They will live here, in this palace.
Marita Wilkenschild is an author and journalist who's been on Denmark's royal beat for the last 20 years. What is the greatest expectation of Mary now?
That she produces an heir. And you know, it's awful to say, and I almost feel ashamed when I say it, but that is a fact. That's the whole idea with the monarchy. So there will be a big pressure on her to get pregnant. And hopefully she will. The Crown Prince has said many times that he wants a lot of children.
Now, I know you two aren't even married yet, but everyone's talking about children.
Yes.
Oh, what are
they
the
were
plans?
talking about our wedding well before then as well. There's an advancement. When we have to wait and see.
But they're definitely planned.
Not planned, but they're definitely there, somewhere in the ether.
Do you feel like you're living a fairy tale?
Today, yes. Although, you know, it's sort of been such a gradual thing that it's hard to say that exactly that I'm living a fairy tale, because at times it's quite daunting, and there's times that it's been times months and months ago that it's been quite hard.
For the girl who claims she never wanted to grow up to be a princess,
I wished I would be a vet.
Mary Donaldson seems born to handle the stresses and scrutiny of royal life, from Princess Bride to Queen Mary of Denmark.
To that I can say, of course I will always have emotional ties to Australia. Australia forms part of my identity and who I am. But my future does lie in Denmark, and I look very much forward to my future here. But Australia will never be forgotten to me. And luckily, Frederick also loves Australia. So I'm sure we'll have